GA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First carry for Josh Jacobs. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
On 2nd down, Dobbs. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off. Mahomes
will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. To throw, it's Mahomes. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they get after them early. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Carr going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
He'll find his running back. It's Jalen Richard. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They'll run it with Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
We're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage. 17 on the play. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down. And they may be going backward here. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mahomes to throw once more. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
On 2nd and 9, Carr. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Chris Jones in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And the Chiefs' D closes in on him again, and they drop him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Bird. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Jones. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Second and 5 now. Mahomes got an open man. It's Pringle. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
No score after one on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run the counter. Bird. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. That time a 6-play drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the...
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all... Do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Richard. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. Well executed there on 2nd down. So do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility. But now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubtly believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Carr. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Yellow, yellow.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Mahomes. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Wells. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4th.
Well, give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play. But it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it. And 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 11. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. The dump-off gets him only 1, and now you're looking at a 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
That's complete to Richard, the running back. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
From the 27, Carr. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he'll find Moreau here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Shotgun now for Carr. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very... And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Carr. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football.
We got this.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Mahomes now to throw. Now he's flushed out left. He can run for it, and he will. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big run there by Jones. 49 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes keeping it himself from 10 yards away. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This one taken from the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Whitney merciless. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Carr now to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed.
And got his man complete. 33 yards that time.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with the defender right there. And Marquell Lee with a stop defensively.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 44, Mahomes, and going deep for Hill, and it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time, but now it'll be 3rd down.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. Now there's also a flag to go with it. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit.
And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't fazed them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run the counter. It's Bird. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. Bird. They find some open field here. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. Facing short yardage on 3rd down, but he was able to pick up a very sizable gain.
He certainly was, and I think that maybe they were fooled a little bit because you and I both know this is a passing league, and that's not normally a running down, and they fooled him with it. Safety had to make the play. Otherwise, he's still running, and the next thing, he runs right into the goalpost.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. It's Wells. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bird, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Now a play fake here on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back now in the East Bay. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Carr, and that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll go again to Jones. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Carr now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Carr to throw. It's a screen to Richard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Now Carr again. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Now Mahomes. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. This one complete to Lacey. And he's out right at the 25. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
They're going to need some therapy after this. Undercrush.
Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. Operating from the gun, Carr. He's got a man, it's Williams. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
56.
Throwing his car on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out. But for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
It's a gain of 34. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here first and 10. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They'll keep it on the ground. Bird. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. On third down, it's Bird, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Chiefs, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Oakland, this season is beyond salvage now as they fall to 2-10. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.